Hey everyone, Everplayer here, and today we're going to be playing a Fortnight at Frenni Fazclaire's 2. And this has been developed by Nightfox Works, and you can find this over at itch.io. I'll have a link down below, you can all check it out. Now, this is a version 0.1, and I guess just like the other one, there's going to be lots of nights, 14 of them, and this is like the Pizzaplex, but not quite. So we have Aurora the Tiger, Chi the Bird, which just looks exactly like Glam Rock Chica, Mia Mangle, and Roxy the Wolf. They kept that one just, Roxy the Wolf, no real difference. But I'm excited to play this, so let's get into it. We'll probably just do one night at a time. Not the full version, there may be bugs, crashes, and other issues. Content is subject to change. Please report any issues you find to Nightfox's email or join our Discord. It's recommended that you keep save files on the end screens for each night, day to prevent any weirdness that may arise from changes in the script. Before we can begin our story, we need to set some options. Ooh. Nah, we'll leave it on. I can just cut that out, I guess. Will remain enabled. Good. Next, the default name for the protagonist is Gregory Wood. You can change that now. Yeah, I don't want to be named Gregory. GGY. Where's your surname? Leave blank for default. There we go. The protagonist of our story will be Ava Pilot. Finally, this game can read the save files of the original. Oh, but I never finished it. I'm only on like night, I don't know, 6 or 7. If you have not run for that game at least once, this feature may not work properly. Looks like you haven't gotten the true ending of the original game yet. That's okay. You can fully enjoy this game without needing to have played the original. That said, your enjoyment will definitely be enhanced if you experience the original true ending. With all that said, we can begin. Maybe I should do that first. Oh. Frenni Fazclaire is a well-known nightclub for various reasons. Chief among them are the alluring animatronics that are capable of things human entertainers could only dream of, and their clients. Woo! They don't need to sleep, eat, or deal with any material needs other than needing to recharge every so often. They always give their best performances and can even be upgraded to enhance their abilities even further. If it weren't for the massive power bill and I can't say this now. Proprietary methods used to craft each animatronic body, Fazclaire's would be revolutionizing the entire adult industry. It's only now, in 2025, that Fazclaire's has finally opened up a second location. Shouldn't that really have been more like, sister location? Instead of the Pizzaplex? My name is Ava Pilot. I've been given the opportunity to become the chief engineer of this new club. I've arrived a month after the new club's opening due to some logistical snafus and training at the original club. Serafina, the new club's manager, has been able to keep the 4 animatronics running in my absence. But I'm quite sure that, after a month, the girls are overdue for some tender love and care. Giggity. It's a chilly morning in October when I report to Fazclaire's. Much like its predecessor, the club is off the main thoroughfare of the city. It's a few stories tall and tucked between 2 rolling hills that help prevent noise pollution from straying too far from the building. Of course, things are all quiet this morning as I head for the door, punch in my door code, step inside. And who is this? Oh, this must be Serafina. Raiding the reception area is none other than Serafina herself. I don't know that much about her, only that she's the younger sister of Lilith, who manages the original club. Really? For some reason, I don't remember a Lilith at the other club. I just know there was the boss guy. Yeah. The first word that comes to mind when I look at Serafina is angelic. She's tall, slim, and flowering, white hair, golden eyes, and a face that would put Aphrodite to shame. Her curves are enhanced by a flowing dress, and her head is accented by a fancy headpiece. Too big and gaudy. When he speaks, her voice is pure and a smile capable of charming the pants off anyone with a sex drive. Good morning, Mr. Pilot. It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. Likewise, I've heard about you here from there. Wait, I've heard about you here and there from Miss Diablo. All good things, I hope. Miss Diablo? I thought it was Mr. Diablo from the club. Yeah, because Diablo sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure it was a guy. More or less, she told me that I'd be in good hands working with you. Well then, shall we get your onboarding out of the way? She pulls out a small card, clears her throat, and recites the company tagline. Welcome to Frenni Fazclaire's, a magical place for adults where fantasy and fun come to life. Making your dreams become real is our priority, though I'm sure you already knew that given you've trained at the original club. So let's skip ahead a bit, shall we? She hands me the card. It has some weight to it, with the word staff written on the front in big gold lettering. Below that label is a second one that reads Chief Engineer. Backside of the card has a map of the club, along with several phone numbers in the event of any emergency. That's a lot of information on a little card. Make sure you keep that card on your person at all times. Without it, the girls cannot verify your identity and grant you access to other prohibited areas. I slip the card into my badge holder that's attached to a lanyard with a circuit board pattern. I take it the same rules are in place as the original club? Don't fuck the animatronics and all that? To some degree, yes. Ooh, some degree. No patrons and staff aren't permitted to funnel, grope, or otherwise make moves on the girls. However, you are the chief engineer. You need to be able to completely assess the girls' capabilities and performance for any required maintenance. Given your training, I don't think we'll have any issues. But I should still say this much. Please at least run any central matters regarding the girls by me before you tackle them yourself. So basically exercise my best judgment and run any involved examinations by you first. Easy enough. How are the girls faring anyways? Seraphina's smile falls just a bit as she answers. To be honest, it's a good thing you came when you did. Roxy has been pouring her soul into every musical performance, to the point she's had several instances of power loss towards the ends of the evening. She keeps mentioning auditory and visual issues, while Aurora's electromagnetic capabilities have been on the fritz since 2 weeks after opening. As for Mia, she's been falling apart since she got here, and I don't mean in the sense she's literally designed to detach her parts at will. From the sounds of it, Mia is the most pressing concern, followed by Aurora, Chi, then Roxy. Ideally, I'll be able to give all the girls a once-over prior to the club's opening tonight, but it depends on what I find in my examinations. Seraphina nods and motions at the left passageway leading off from the entrance. In that case, allow me to take you through the barricade to access the lower levels. It'll be faster than taking the main lift down from backstage. Ooh, high scores. Any GGY there? I follow in Seraphina's wake. She leads me through a space designed and furnished like a retro arcade. There's all manner of game cabinets and neon lights spread throughout, with a large bar stocked with an impressive variety of liquor towards the back wall. This is Chi's domain. She's just as capable of mixing drinks as she is kicking your ass in any fighting game on the floor. All the cabinets here run on a card system. Patrons can top up their funds on their cards at those machines next to the ATM. As staff, you get to play for free, as long as your other duties are taken care of first. We keep moving, taking the door next to the bar into the kitchen for a brief moment. Now, are these girls going to be haunted, or is it going to be, AI like the Mimic? Oh my god, they need to stop this whole Mimic storyline thing. I'm so tired of it. It's so stupid too, the Mimic. Come on. William Afton is the only antagonist that should have been in FNAF, okay? He should have came back as Glitch Trap, then he should have gotten into the body like Burn Trap, which you can't, and these theorists can't tell me that Burn Trap is actually Mimic. No, they're not the same, because there's actual licensed products of Burn Trap. If that was the case, they wouldn't have done that and call it that. So, I don't know what they're thinking. I think a lot of the FNAF theorists are full of it. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, because every time I watch their videos, I'm like, no, you're wrong, because this happened over here. So that can't be it. But whatever. I'm no expert in culinary delights, but the kitchen seems rather expansive and well stocked to my untrained eye. Similarly, we step into the main storage room for only a moment before Serafina leads me to a door with a badge reader attached. She produces her own security card, the lock chimes, and the door swings open to reveal a staircase heading down. Ooh. All access to the lower level is gated behind similar locks, so make extra sure you have your card on you at all times. The idea is that the staff can quickly get to the other areas of the club without needing to wade through the crowds on the main floor. On the way to the lounge and parts and service, we'll pass by the server, electrical, and medical rooms, and I'm gonna forget all of it. I hope I don't need to know this. The staircase opens up to a moderately lit tunnel just wide enough for 3 people standing shoulder to shoulder, and I already forgot what the last screen said. Parts and service? We hang an immediate left, followed by a right before emerging into the animatronic lounge. A variety of comfy chairs and couches litter the space alongside tables of both the utilitarian and entertainment variety. Hey, I'm tired. I just got out of work. There are 11 doors leading from the space. 4 are meant for the animatronics, 4 that are storage rooms, and 2 lead to further tunnels, and the remaining leads to parts and service. Serafina motions at the far door on the right, next to the entrance to parts and service. Mia's room is that one there. Next to hers is Aurora's, where Roxy and Cheese are over on this side. They should all be recharging at the moment, though knowing Roxy, she's staying up working despite her battery's limited charge. She motions at Mia's room. Shall we? I guess we shall. Another badge reader gains us entrance to Mia's room. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but it definitely was an aggressively pastel goth bedroom. There's an equal mix of grunge and pastel elements in both furniture and the decorations. Plenty of pinks, purples, and blacks. I love it already. Cute mascot posters share the same wall as horror movie posters. Queen-size bed with an excessive amount of pillows and plushies sit next to a recharge pod where Mia is currently charging. At a glance, I can confirm that Mia is a variant of the Fazclaire animatronic Fox model. Her white carapace is marked with pink and black accents, as well as a bunny girl setup. Mia eyes open with Serafina, and I step closer to the recharge pod. She smiles, then speaks in an upbeat and pleasant manner. So she's like half fox, half bunny. Good morning. Her eyes wander to my lanyard and the card attached to it. They flash gold, then she continues. Ah, you must be Ava, our new engineer. It's a pleasure to meet you. Let me just step out of my pod here. Pod door swings open and Mia steps out. Or, well, she tries to. Oop, down she goes. She makes the 2 steps before her knees buckle and she falls to pieces. I need to get a drink. Luckily, I don't have to go anywhere because I got my drinks next to me. Hey, fresh can of amp. Yum yum. I'm still waiting for Mountain Dew to hear me talk about it. Give me. Okay, that's good. Though she doesn't seem that concerned as her head rolls next to my feet. Guess I'm getting ahead of myself. Ha ha ha. It's been harder and harder to keep myself together. Ha! Boss lady, might give me a hand getting Mia here to parts and service? Certainly. Come on, Mia. Up you go. Take several trips to get all of Mia's parts into the next room over. Large lift is in the center of parts and service, next to which are 3 cradles, each meant to hold an animatronic. Beyond that are private lifts that lead to the girls' red rooms, or so Serafina says. The room containing spare parts lies to the left of the main lift, and the actual workshop is to the right. For now, Serafina and I cobble together Mia in one of the cradles. I then pop into the workshop to grab some tools to start diagnosing what's wrong with Mia. Oh yeah, I should be saving too once in a while. I start by plugging a Fazclaire's tablet into a port in her neck piece, and running a simple checkup program. Most of your magnetic couplers have been degauzed. No wonder you've been having issues keeping it together. Luckily, it's a simple fix. I just have to replace the bad couples with the fresh ones, and you'll be good to go. I am curious what could have demagnetized neodymium like this. What? Serafina looks over my shoulder at the screen. Unfortunately, I'm of little help here. There's been so much involved with the club's opening, I haven't a clue what could have affected her like this. Speaking of which, do you think you can take care of things from here, Mr. Pilot? I have some other matters to attend to during the day shift. Yeah, I should be fine. Thanks for the onboarding and help so far. She smiles and then departs. Once I grab the necessary replacement parts for Mia, I set to work fixing her joints. She strikes up conversation as I make progress. So Ava, are you always this handsy with girls you've just met, or am I a special case? Well, you, Mangle. I like to know everything there is about the animatronics I'm servicing. Just let me know if you get uncomfortable. Of course, service is basically what I do here at the club. Not in that way, before you ask. I oversee the VIP areas and the private booths, as well as meeting patron needs. If you ever need something, just come to my concierge area and I'll do my best to get it for you. Noted. Though I imagine you're not always in a bunny suit. It's about all I can wear while still maintaining the ability to detach my parts. That's weird looking, the way her arm is kind of magically attached, even though it's not at the elbow there. Okay. Do you do that often? Take yourself apart? Depends on the night, really. Sometimes it's easier to handle guests' needs when my body can operate separate from my head. That could be a real pain in the neck. Huh. I can't help but chuckle at her pun as I click new magnets into her frame. From the sound of it, you don't suffer as much wear and tear as the other girls might. How long have you been having these problems? Serafina mentioned that this has been going on for some time. Pretty much since I got here. It's been getting worse and worse. Do your parts often suffer heavy impacts? That can sometimes demagnetize things. Can't say that they do, but I'll keep that in mind. If Aurora's electromagnetism has been on the fritz, and you've been hanging around her, that could be our smoking gun, so to speak. Oh, I do hang out with Aurora a bunch. As the club's lead dancer, she's often requested for private shows. Are you saying I should refrain from interacting with her? Nah, nothing so drastic. At least, once I get her fixed anyways. Hopefully I can do that during the day shift so you can hang out with her like usual. Do you help any of the other girls with their areas? Sorta. She's a blast to be around. Roxy is very particular about who can touch her equipment. Whenever I'm not playing concierge, I'm usually helping Serafina with odds and ends around the club. Speaking of Serafina, what do you think of her so far? Seems like a nice boss so far. It brightens up even further, which is saying something given how chipper she's been so far. Oh, she's wonderful, very relaxed, yet knows her stuff and how to properly manage people. Every time she's had to get involved with a patron, that patron always left with a smile, even the really grumpy ones. She also kept us girls running until you got here, which hasn't been easy. So she's not overworking you? I was wondering if you weren't getting enough downtime. Nah, nothing of the sort. I mean, Roxy pushes herself really hard, but Serafina doesn't make us work at 100% for hours on end. If anything, Serafina might give us too much break time. So Roxy's a workaholic. What can you tell me of Chi and Aurora? Well, Chi's even higher energy than I am, if you can believe it. She flirts shamelessly with everyone, including the boss. Her barcode is... her barcade is always one big party and one of the main draws for folks that aren't too into raves or strip shows. Speaking of, Aurora is an expert on the pole thanks to her training with Bonfi at the original club. Aurora doesn't just strip though. She also does a variety of dances and martial arts display depending on the crowd for any given night. So, I haven't finished, obviously, the first Fazclaires, which I gotta get on that. But, so did the girls never leave the club? If this one open, I mean, were they kind of taking place at the same time, maybe? I don't know, because they'd be like, well, if you freed the girls, wouldn't that club have closed down? Though, since her electromagnetism hasn't been working right, She hasn't been able to do her signature chakram performance. I finish up with the last few magnets. I switch conversation tracks. I'm curious about what whole pastel goth thing you had going on in your room. Have you always been a fan of such aesthetics? Pretty much. Whomever programmed me must have had interesting tastes. It also fits my brand, in a way. A perfect mix of cute, sexy, and unnerving. The last magnet clicks into place and I take a step back from the cradle. Try moving around now, let me know how that all feels. Mia takes a tentative step, then another. She does a full circuit of parts and service before returning to my side, beaming. Everything checks out. Thanks, Ava. I wish I could stay and chat longer, but my batteries are running fairly low. If you need me tonight, you know where to find me. She gives me a quick hug before skipping back off to her room. Check my watch and see that just enough time to handle fixing 2 more girls before the club has to open. Assuming, of course, one of them doesn't have a major issue that requires an involved repair. Alright, let's save. We should do it in the order they mentioned. So I guess... yeah, I think Aurora was next. I know Roxy's last. So I guess it'd be... yeah, let's do Aurora. Aurora is the next highest repair priority. If I'm not able to fix her electromagnetic abilities, then Mia's likely to wind right back on my table. Use my tablet. I send off a request for Aurora to join me in parts and service. She arrives 5 minutes later, yawning and stretching like a cat. She's the tiger, huh? She's the first tiger animatronic that Fazclaire has produced, meaning she's a prototype and therefore prone to unforeseen problems. It would have been really cool, I think, if they changed her color of the eyes, you know. One blue, one green, kind of like, you know, Tiger Rock. I think they should have went with that. Since you already have a white tiger, you might as well go the full length and do the eyes. Good morning. Her eyes flash gold as she looks to my lantern. Ah, so you're the new guy. Nice to meet you. You here to fix my EM coils? I motion out a cradle for her to relax in, along with any other issues you might be having. Nice to meet you as well. Aurora moves to rest in the cradle, offering her neck for me to plug in the tablet into. Sure enough, Aurora's EM coils, which regulate her electromagnetic powers, are drawing way too much power. I'm honestly surprised she hasn't been having battery issues because of that. I'll have to remove the coils, replace some wiring, and update their firmware. But there's something odd as well. Aurora's memory banks are strangely empty compared to what I saw earlier with Mia's. Aurora's personality subroutines are fine, and she has some memory of working in the club so far. Behind that though, she's a blank slate. There are some other minor problems highlighted by the diagnostic, but I'm pretty sure they'll be fixed by repairing those AM coils. The good news is that solving your main problem will handle everything else. And the bad news? Not really any bad news. Your main coils are in your chest and hands. Later I can get to easily enough, but the former will require you to open up for me. Aurora grins, reaching up to the collar of her dress. You want me to take things off nice and slow, or get right down to it? Whichever you prefer. There's only so much time left in the day. Aurora opts to expose herself with little ceremony. Once your chest is bare, I tap a sequence of hidden buttons and latches. This, in turn, causes her chest plate to split down the middle and swing open. The M coil takes up most of her boobs, though they're surrounded by a non-conducting polymer which give her some bounce and squeeze. I'll have to remove the outer casing before I start working on the coils themselves. Aside from the coils acting up, have you been experiencing any memory loss? Your banks are far less full than Mia's. She shrugs best she can without disrupting my work. Mia has to keep tabs on a bunch of VIPs and other details. My job's pretty simple by comparison. I dance, show 'em skin, and generally put on a show. I did hear that you learned your skills from the master herself. What was working with Ren'Py like? Let's just say that Ren'Py is a strict instructor. She had me doing things with the pole that I scarcely thought possible, and that was only the first day. Kept asking if she could just let me copy her subroutines, but all she would say was, you have to learn this yourself if you're gonna put on a show. Granted, I realize now that she was right, but in the moment, it was rough going. Rough going sounds exactly like Bonfi, alright. I got used to her antics while I was training at the original club. It won't take me long to adjust to things there. Maybe we are the same character as that guy. Because we were there. Maybe we just went from being a night guard to being an engineer. Maybe we went and got a degree. I don't know. We're definitely more laid back than the first location. That said, watch out for Chi. Unlike the original Chiku, our Chiku is like Fexa and Bonfi combined in terms of skills and energy. So super fast and always handing out sexy flirts. Makes her a great bartender, at least in terms of how often and how much she gets tipped. Is it just you that does dances? Or do the other girls help out if they're free? Wait, why do animatronics get tipped? They don't really need the money. Depends on the night, really. Chi is the most available of the other three, while Mia's only open when there's not a bunch of VIPs to hen over. Roxy is, well, I'd say high-strung, but she gets way too deep into her work at times, to the point where we have to drag her away from the DJ booth every morning. So you perform every night? I wonder if that might be why your coils are out of sync. I'll have to monitor them moving forward. Speaking of, I've heard good things about your chalk room routines. Once I'm done, you'll be able to resume them. That's good. They're kind of my main draw after the whole stripping thing, though slinging around the chalk rooms really drains my batteries. As does levitating myself around the pool. I'll have to get used to longer and more frequent recharging again. I do wonder if your model was made with these electromagnetic capabilities in the first place. Seems like an odd thing to put an animatronic in this line of work. Again, I suppose Mr. Black has always had strange ideas since he became the owner of the first club. Mr. Black, yeah, that's the name, Mr. Black, not Diablo. Wait a minute, Mr. Diablo, wasn't that the boss of a different FNAF fan game? I don't know. Everything just combines in my brain. There's too many of these. I think I'm about done here. So 2 more softballs before I close you back up. Can I pet you? And do you purr? Aurora's ears flicked, as does her tail. I chuff, not purr. As for petting me, maybe once I get to know you better. No offense, of course. None taken. Let me close you back up, and you can get dressed again. You should be right as rain for later tonight. She flashes a wide grin and offers me a fist bump after she's modest. Cheers, Ava. I'm off to squeeze in some extra recharging then. Naturally, I return the first bump with gusto. See ya. There's just enough time to prepare another before the club opens and the girls will be needed. I want to take care of Foxy. I mean Roxy, not Foxy. But she's the one that needs it last. So we're going to go with Chi. Using my tablet, I send off a request for Chi to join me in parts and service. Not 30 seconds later, a new animatronic comes bounding into the room. Her movements are especially animated, like someone at Pixar turned up a character's emotions to 11 and gave them way too many energy drinks. That reminds me, I gotta get to my energy drink for a second here. I'm so glad I buy these in bulk. Your voice is luscious and tickles my ear in all the right ways. Hey, hun. So you're the new guy, huh? I've been aching to meet you since the boss said you were coming. It's been so long since I had a man who knew how to touch me in all the right places. Hi to you too? Serafina told me you've been experiencing some audio and visual bugs. She nods and points at the side of her head. It's like I'm seeing double at times on top of hearing a slight echo. And let me tell you, that does not make for good bartending in the middle of an arcade with Roxy's music pounding down the hall. Though at least can see 2 of the nice, tall drinks of water in front of me now. I offer the end of my tablet's cables towards her. Well, let's get you plugged in and we'll see what's amiss. I'm able to root out the issues almost instantly. Chi's binaural and visual modules are slightly out of sync. Fix is as simple as synchronizing a watch. All I have to do is tell her modules to pull the latest time data from the club servers. Though they should have been doing that automatically at regular intervals to begin with. Weird. Let me just push the command here and you're done. How do you feel? She holds out a hand, inspects it, then reaches out and ruffles my hair before I can react. Right as rain, and now we have 10 minutes before I'm needed upstairs. Which is 9 minutes and 50 seconds more than I'll need to give you a proper reward for fixing me. So what do you want to do, hun? I mean, I may be chief engineer, but there's still rules against fucking without running it by Serafina first. To my surprise, she laughs like I've told her the best joke she's heard in years. I was just gonna give you a quick peck and maybe a nice butt squeeze. To think your mind is already going towards sex, you must really like me, huh? That's not... She gives me that quick peck on my cheek and another head pat. It's okay. It's only natural you're experiencing love at first sight. It happens all the time at the bar. Though I suppose that happens to bartenders all the time. We're supposed to be extra friendly, and way too many people read far into it. Oh, well, perils of the job, I suppose. Anything you want to know before I set up for the evening? I point at her neck and motion for her to unplug. Let's make sure I have a baseline while you're here. Have you been experiencing blackouts or even losing track of time? I'm trying to establish if this is an instance of a simple broken update or something more sinister. I mean, sometimes when I've been recharging, but I thought that was normal. Could be. You're supposed to be syncing with the servers on a regular basis. Perhaps something went amiss and you were inadvertently disabling your systems whenever such a sync tried to happen? Could you try syncing while I'm here? Her eyes flash gold. Still good here, hon. Must have been a bug in the system that you thankfully squashed. Good. I'm still going to keep an eye on you moving forward. Just make sure you're watching all my good parts. I will. Speaking of repairs, have you been near Aurora recently? Or has the bass from Roxy's raves been loud enough to shake those loose? Nah, Aurora mostly hangs out with Mia. She sometimes comes to fetch a drink on behalf of VIP, but for the most part, Aurora stays on her side of the club. No bad blood between us, thus. We just don't interact much. As for Roxy's music, my binaural suit is the second most sensitive one after Roxy's. I can hear her bass line 3 blocks down from the club. Ah, I see. Should I turn down the sensitivity, perhaps? Nah, I need to probably hear everything that happens in the barcade, while simultaneously handling customers' orders. But it's sweet of you to ask, hon. Then let's switch tracks. Any good stories about the guests so far? What drink should I order? And which arcade cabinet should I play? She's already bright expression grows in excitement. Well, there's Mr. Turner that comes in every Thursday since the club opened for real. He always orders the same rare drink. Grand Marnier mixed with Kahlua. Neat. Doesn't talk much. Tips in $2 bills. As for my drink specialty, I learned the best budget white Russian from Marie back at the original club. I can also make a mean royal flush. Marie. I don't remember a Marie in the original club. As for the arcade, there's always the Fazclaire pinball machine. $2 bills, royal flushes, and pinball. Quite the interesting spread. Do you have any insights on Serafina or Roxy you can share? I've touched on the others so far. Roxy may seem gruff and uptight, but she's a total sweetheart. Get her talking about music theory or how to make proper chocolate chip cookies, and she'll go for hours with her tail wagging the entire time. As for Serafina, well, she leans in to whisper. You didn't hear this from me, but she seems really lonely. She keeps to herself despite wandering about the club during business hours whenever she's not needed. More than once I've seen her looking down at the dance floor from the upstairs balcony with a longing expression. Cool. One last curveball before I'm convinced you're fixed and good for tonight's shift. Do you ever think that we're just dust? That we're all just floating out there, flying through space without knowing where we were or are until we collide with someone? And, just for a moment, that collision makes us become real? She's eyes flash gold, as expected from her use of philosophy. I didn't expect you to be a nihilist, Ava, but to answer your question, I think collisions are things to be celebrated and not actively sought out. Too many collisions and you lose yourself, but not having any means you never get to truly experience the world. The trick is setting yourself up for success by breaking out of your comfort zone now and again. Fair point. Anything looks and sounds great. You get a clean bit of health, G. That means you get a save, too. Cheers. I'll be at the bar if you need me. Now the club is coming to life above me. I look over my domain. Parts and servers could do with a makeover, as could the workshop. I want to be prepared in the event of any emergency, and I also want to be able to recycle and rebuild parts as needed. The former can be accomplished by setting up monitoring equipment hooked up to the security cameras and servers to get a real-time feed of the animatronic status. Later is a matter of properly cataloging, labeling, and arranging all the parts in storage. Grab some spare equipment from the storage before poking my head into the security room via my all-access badge. There's no one currently on duty, but I imagine they've simply stepped out. That or there's 4 very capable animatronics that can handle any issues that arise. The original club was kind of lax on security as well when I was training there. For the most part, patrons seem to behave when there's 1,000 pounds of metal that can break an arm as easily as twist it off. I grab what I need and return to my area of the club. There's a bit of fuzz now and again when I enable the camera feeds, but otherwise, they work just fine. I'm getting up-to-date info about the girls at a glance. For example, I can see that Roxy is already down to 63% charged, despite only 2 hours of time passing since opening. That's indicative of either something wrong with her batteries, or that Roxy skipped out on charging properly. But I might as well check out Roxy while she works. She's currently in the DJ booth of a rave pit, currently jamming out to some solid trance. The music is pumping, the body is moving, the lights flashing frantically, in tune with the beat. There's even go-go dancers providing extra eye candy to go along with the misty visual effects. But at the forefront is Roxy herself. From what I remember of the dossier, she mixes all her tracks herself. She curates a handcrafted experience each night so that every performance is fresh, even if it cycles through the same library of tracks. Roxy's pretty hot too, so that probably keeps the crowd motivated as well, I would imagine. I can only get so close without becoming lost in the mass of dancers. Even on the edge of the screen, my foot is tapping, and I'm subconsciously swaying to the beat. All this energy might explain why Roxy's burning through her battery so quickly. If she always goes this hard, then no wonder she's having charging issues. Tell myself away from watching Roxy's performance for the time being. I'll catch up with her after the club's closed. For now, I want to try to see what Chi said about Seraphina is true. Start by looking around the periphery of the main dance floor. No dice. I look up to scan the balcony and still nothing. Or, wait, that could be Seraphina there in the far corner. Yes, that's either Seraphina or someone stolen her headdress. Just like Chi said, Seraphina is leaning against the wall railing. Where did I get wall? Seraphina is leaning against the railing while watching the crowd below. I can't quite make her expression in this light. I would go up and say hello, but the timing just doesn't seem right. I've only just gotten here, and cozying up to the boss lady might not be taken all that well. That means it's time to return to parts and service to tinker. I also sent a request for Roxy to join me after her set is finished for the evening. I expect Roxy to show up at any moment, so I wait and wait. An hour and a half pass, the club's closing goes by before Roxy shows up in parts and service. She looks haggard compared to how she looked earlier in the night. Her hair has lost its poof, her red coat is drooping off of her, and her eyes are half lidded. You want to see me, new guy? Something wrong? I'm doing system checks on all the animatronics to establish a baseline and handle any existing issues. Wait, is she wearing glasses? I can't tell. Those supposed to be like tiny little spectacles up there. Go ahead and hop in a cradle. I've heard you've been experiencing some issues regarding your batteries charging. Roxy sighs, rolls her eyes, and reluctantly hops into the cradle. It's nothing serious. I just use a lot of energy in my sets compared to the other girls. I've never actually collapsed or zonked out from not having enough juice left. I hope the end of the cable hooked to my tablet. Better be sure there's nothing underlying all the same. I'll be quick so you can get to recharging ASAP. Roxy takes the cable and hooks it into the slot right below her canine ears. Do whatever. I'm ahead on my composing, so I have a little time to spare. After starting the diagnostics, I try striking up conversation while the program scans for any issues. How much time do you actually spend charging? From the sounds of it, you stay up nearly 24/7. That's just the way it is when you're a rock star. Were I not an animatronic, I'd be pounding energy drinks to stay high energy all the time. Speaking of, maybe you could take a look at my recharge pod while you're at it. Upgrade it so you can charge me faster. First, I have to make sure your batteries aren't damaged. I could even take the added strain. You're a MK2 animatronic, meaning you share the same battery design as Frenny and Marie at the original club. I had extensive training working on those two before coming over here. What made you get into repairing machines like us in the first place? You must have odd taste in women. I'm not going to deny that. I wouldn't go that far. But you're also not wrong. I just like the certainty of steel and how simple maintenance can keep you all running nearly indefinitely. What do you do when you're not on stage? Composing music or recharging? That's a rare thing for me. I live, eat, breathe, and shit music. Metaphorically, of course. If I'm not playing a set, then I'm working on a new one. And if I'm not doing that, I'm recharging or interfacing with guests that have paid for the extra experience. What's that like? I haven't heard much about that sort of thing so far. It's nothing terrible. Most of the time, it's downright awkward. The majority of patrons act like a dog that's caught the car, but has no idea what to do next. We talk with them, snap a few pictures, then send them on their way. Only extremely rare guest actually has the confidence to treat us like normal people and hang out for their allotted time. I remember one guy in particular that came by for a while, Percy. He got along with everyone, but we all knew he only had eyes for me. I treated him well and didn't lead him on, which is all he really wanted. One night he showed up and said he was having to move because of work. He gave me an unshanka, commenting that he'd overheard me mentioning in passing one night that it was my favorite kind of hat. I still have it in my room. I hope he's doing well. No idea what gifts he got for everyone else. Each of us girls got a little something from Percy. Sounds like you're already making good memories even though the club's only been open for a short time. What are your thoughts on the other girls and the boss lady? I don't really have time to hang out with them outside of work, if you get my meaning. She's tried a few times, but I had to keep turning her down in order to catch up on my composing. As for Miss Seraphina, I suppose she's got the whole stoic, lonely leader vibe going for her. My tablet beeps to signal the diagnostic has completed. I scan the screen, then nod. Well, the good news is that your batteries aren't malfunctioning, or otherwise showing signs of decay. Your audio suite is also damn impressive. That much high-quality gear must have cost Mr. Black a fortune to install on you. Best that you try and get more regular recharging in so you don't literally burn out on stage one night. Roxy doesn't wait for me to tell her to disconnect the cable before propping it free and hopping out of the cradle. See, told you. Was there anything else you needed? You're free to go. I'll keep an ear out for any battery upgrades for your chassis or your charge pod. I'll also see if I can source some parallel processing chips so you can process and compose while hanging out with folks more easily. You do that. Thanks for the clean bit of health, Ava. Have a good one. With that, I've completed my first full shift at the new club. Yay! That's when we save. Night 1 complete. And we're going to end it there, I do believe. That is awesome. So we're going to go... in menu. Yeah, so that was a Fortnight of Frenni Fazclaire's 2. Night 1. I like it. I like it a lot. It's just like the other one. Of course, I don't really know what the underlying story is going to be here. I don't know if we should be wary of the boss. Or maybe she's going to be nice after all. Who knows? But unfortunately, there's probably going to be no hauntings in this one. Like I said, it's probably going to be AI if it's supposed to be taking themes from the Pizzaplex. At least that's what I think, and I can't stand the fucking AI. I just hate it so much. Like, I don't know why I hate it so much. Just bring back Afton. Bring back him. He's the only one that should be there. But on that note, you all have yourselves a good one, and I will see you later.